Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Lorenzo here. And if this isn't a blast from the past, I don't know what, because we're doing an episode of KSP contracting. And it's going to be the last episode. It's not going to be the last video ever, but it's going to be the last episode of KSP contracting. I'll tell you why. It's outdated. Look at the bottom right of the screen here. We've got version 0.24. And that's so old a version I don't even remember how many versions have come after it. So that's saying something. The reason I'm doing this episode is twofold. Reason one is I did promise to finish the series, which was nagging at me. Reason two is I did promise Coryzilla to fly his dual mission, and that's months ago in YouTube, so I probably wouldn't have gone into too big of a karma debt if I hadn't, but still, these files have been lingering on my desktop for, well, months, so I thought it's time to fire them up. And boy did we have a good time in KSP contracting, because this save game, it filled me with nostalgia. We had the James Tarazi Griswolf Research Corporations, the Mopolo mission that got lost amongst the stars, well, the one star we live around, and more of that goodness. Look, if we go here in the save game, we even have the Borg, and this wasn't a live stream, this was a crazy thing Rule made. A massive cube ship which was fun to fly, but then Jebediah fell off and the thing had to return and boost back to the planet, and he scooped him up at 30 or 25 kilometers of altitude and then made it back into space. That was ridiculous. Unfortunately, I was lazy and the footage got lost in the nether regions of Twitch. So yeah, it's only for the 4 or 5 people that were there that can remember that, but that was awesome. So last episode of contracting, let's go into the game, and we're going to duel in a ship that Coryzilla made. And I don't know if any of the people that I just mentioned are even still watching or following the channel, but if you are, hey, it was good, and I hope there will be some videos and stuff in the future, but I'm really not sure. I did move house again, so now I am in a slow internet situation again, which makes it relatively inconvenient to do streaming and videos. But once again, I'm on the path of upgrading the internet to faster speeds, and otherwise everything is marvelous. So the one thing I can live with is slow internet. I've got a good job, got a wonderful girlfriend, which I live with now, which is cool. And so yeah, videos kinda got lost in between all that good stuff, but hopefully not forever. Cool, so let's have a look at what Coryzilla made. No, let's not delete the ships. One of them is incompatible with this version of KSP, and I seem to recall that in the rules I stipulated that was not allowed. So this one is out. But we have the Mantis Co-Dual Moon Lander. Apologies for that. It says loaded on the tin, which I suppose is good. Let's zoom out, and it's big. It's going to duel. It's got nuclear engines and it's got a lander. So seems like a plan. Let's launch it. Coryzilla included a notepad file that said, do make sure to disable RCS fuel flow from the lander, otherwise it will drain and ruin your mission. So let's try and remember to do that. And he also said to launch at night, which we are. So consider that request granted. And furthermore, he said to land on a moon of Jewel and not an atmosphered one. So let's not do that. Okay, we have RCS on this thing disabled. Pretty good. Now, I noticed, we're bringing Bob and Jebediah, it's also good. I noticed I don't have anything like Kerbal Alarm Cloak on this install, which leads me to believe and hope that this is the right phase angle for a launch to Jewel. Otherwise, we will be fast forwarding through quite a bit of time, which I will do off camera if we have to. First and foremost, though, launch. Oh wait, this version is so old that it doesn't have a full throttle switch, which is Z in the current version, if you didn't know that yet. So let's go. Lights. Lights. Oh, look at that. Here are the funky fresh lights. I turn them off to save juice. We're eco green. We're not polluting anything. We're saving energy by turning off the lights. You guys, no excess pollution from this rocket stack. Promise. Right. We are in the stock game, so we want to go straight up for a while, then turn over into orbit. Let's see how this baby flies, and then I will start doing the usual video cutting and fast forwarding, because otherwise it will be a really, really long ride. And of course we live in a very fast-paced society where we don't have long attention spans and just don't have the time to wait for rocket ships to arrive. Speaking about rocket ships arriving, two of them are doing interesting stuff. There is, now I have to say the name right, there is Dawn at Ceres, and Ceres has revealed some unusual bright spots. Go look that up. The photos are really good, and over the coming weeks we are expecting marvelous data from that probe. Another one which we will expect around July is New Horizons, which will arrive at Pluto. Now it will be going so fast that it won't be entering orbit around Pluto. It will do a flyby, but still we're expecting marvelous photos of unprecedented detail from that. And those are really the cool things in planetary exploration in the real world today and these months. A sad note is that these two marvelous encounters will be the last in a while, because these things take like 7 to 10 years to fly to these exciting locations, and surprise, in the past 7 to 10 to 15 to any years, well, the past 15 years, yes, no, I'm talking rubbish. In the past 10 years, not really any of those awesome missions have been launched. So if we want to have them again, we need to launch them, and then we'll have to wait 10 years. So these two events will be the last for the foreseeable time. But oh well, we'll not look a gift horse in the mouth. We still get awesome footage from faraway worlds. So that's still good. Alright, burnt out stage is going away, and I was talking so I didn't pay attention to the trajectory. Fortunately, Coryzilla supplied this ship with lots of fuel, as he said. I'm just going to take him on his word for that. Let's zoom in and actually have a look at the trajectory. It's actually not too bad. We're at 100 kilometer apoapsis, which should comfortably ease us into orbit. And I have a fearing, I fear that this is one of those ships where the burns will take forever, because this is a big engine, but there's an even bigger ship ahead of it, and if you look at our speed gauge, it's only climbing very, very slowly. So about 5 minutes in, this might be the first moment for a time jump already, because I just don't have enough stuff to talk about for all the time that it would need talking about. So yeah, I'm going to cut the video and I'll be back whenever something interesting happens. See you then. Well, and there we have it, almost attaining orbital velocity. Our boosters are about 100 kilometers behind, so this thing did something. And oh god, we might have to wait for longer. No, we don't mind a high orbit, we're going high places anyway. That didn't make any sense, apologies for that rubbish. I want to have an orbit so I can start tinkering with the maneuver nodes to see if I can get something resembling a dual encounter from here, or if I have to start time warping for years and years. So we are now comfortably into a somewhat orbit, not quite stable, but 60 kilometers periapsis. We can boost that at our apoapsis as usually. So let's have a little look-see. Let's target Jewel. And the thing is, we really need to establish orbit in the right direction. I think we need to be going clockwise. Let's not time warp because we're in a dangerous orbit. And I think these moons are going in the clockwise direction. If they aren't, we need to tweak our trajectory to match. But that is of later concern. Let's now first see if we can actually meet up with this giant. Let's see. More speed. That's maybe too. Oh, look at that! That's an encounter immediately. This is a high energy, fast encounter, I think. Yeah, this is a really fast encounter, but maybe. Oh, look at that! That's tremendous. So we can get there in 2 years and 200 days by boosting for 2 kilometers per second, or we can get there in just a year by boosting at 3 kilometers per second. We've got time warp. We're gonna go the energy efficient route. Wow, that's tremendous. That's such a good transfer angle just by guessing. Nice. I like that. Thank you, universe. That's a good going away present for KSP contracting. Alright, we can just start burning in 4 minutes. I had not expected that. Not at all. Okay, let's do that then. Wait, we're gonna have to, our burn will take 2 minutes and 46 seconds. That will not be sustained on this tank. Then we're moving to the slow nuclear engines. So we had best start now. With a little dab of throttle to steer. Look at that, it's like a candle, just guttering there in the vacuum of space. And full boost. Full boost. Oh, I can't get over how awesome that trajectory was, even with two choices. A high energy one, the high energy one actually would have only cost 2 kilometers per second. So the low energy trajectory was 2 kilometers per second, the high energy 3. And I would have also had to cancel that 3, but I would have had to do that at a higher altitude. So maybe it would only have cost like 1.3 kilometers per second. I don't know, that's too mathy for me. Anyway, we are now coming up to stage separation, which ought to happen now. No faults there. Nuclear engine ignition. And oh my god, the acceleration is so slow. This may screw up everything. In fact, I should have taken this into account. Throw in a quick save and try some physical warping. We may have to do this in multiple passes actually. Like then when we burn here, because if we just burn for 15 minutes now, we're gonna end up here and further. Although if we keep pointing in the right direction, it should be fine because we're going to boost away from Kerbin anyway. I'm not sure how that works out. Still have the remnants of a cold. You may be able to hear that, but yeah, let's see how that turns out over the next few minutes. We may have to actually wait an orbit and then boost again. The good news is that a transfer orbit to Joule, which is so far out, doesn't really it has a very wide launch window. You can do that like whenever you want. No, that didn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter if you're one orbit late. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, physical time warp initiated, superbly fast. And talking rubbish again. I'm gonna do this off screen, off camera, off recording, because it just takes so long. So see you when this bar thing runs out. And here we are, not even halfway there, but the option of circling around Kerbin has gone because we are now at escape velocity. So now we just have to punch through to the Joule trajectory marker. And this big planet here, it's doing a pull on us and pulling us sideways, and it's going to mess up our trajectory good, but that doesn't really matter because we have lots of fuel and we can fix that later. And for now we just want to get roughly into the right direction. That does mean that this gauge is now not necessarily accurate anymore because that measured it like from the other side of the planet. So we want to look at these lines and see if they roughly overlap, but we also want to zoom out and see what this line is doing. No, wait, it's not there yet. I don't know where that line is. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one. We want to pay attention to that one. This AP needs to go over there. And we need 800 meters per second for that, according to the wrong gauge. Now, I set that all muddled up on purpose, so it wouldn't make any sense, because this is the way I am doing this. I'm not calculating anything, I'm not using any aids, I'm just sort of pointing in the right direction and hoping for the best. And seeing how well that turned out from the orbit insertion, like where we could start burning after 3 minutes, I think this mission will go marvelously. And now I ran out of stuff to say again. Let's dial it back on the physical time warp. See, this is expanding. Let's revisit some of these old missions, at least in spirit. This is the JRA long-range science vessel ship. I think this went to Duna. That was a... No, this went to Dres? Did we have a base on Dres? Holy shit, cool. I forgot about that. We did some stuff on Moho. That got the guy stranded, unfortunately. We got Asteroid Whacker. It's cool. Oh yeah, we had to impact that at like 1,000,000 kilometers per second on an asteroid. We didn't actually do it, but I had a suspicion that was because of the game engine. That was really cool though. We put that on a retrograde encounter with an asteroid at a few kilometers per second and tried for an hour to get it to actually hit. And the closing speed was, I think, about 15 kilometers per second or 1. Just too fast for me to handle. And what else did we do? We went to Duna, surely. Yeah, there's a flag here. And no debris. So that means that this mission went pretty well. Haha, nice. And of course there is lots of stuff around here. The Mun Polar Lander. That, I think that crashed back. Oh, good times, good times. So let's see. Perhaps it's time to recalculate our trajectory. Because we are now, I think, like sort of boosting in the wrong direction. Because we are no, if we are pointing at the blue thing, we are pointing like at there. We're going like this, which is sort of the right direction, and we don't have the required altitude yet. Are we going really out of plane? No, not really. This is still proceeding in the right direction. It's just going so slowly because I turned off the physical time warp. Let's turn it back on. That makes it progress a little bit faster. I will once again cut out the video because we have many burns remaining around Joule. I'm not going to talk through all of them. Oh god, oh god, oh god, we're going too high. Stop. And stop the physical time warp. And we kept on burning like right through like a quarter of the distance to the moon's orbit. That's impressive, I think. So now comes the damage control. Screw this maneuver, it doesn't work anymore. We are going to boost forward towards Kerbin Escape. That makes things easier. 1 day out from here. And then we are going to fiddle with our trajectory until we make it intersect Joule. Well, not Joule itself, but you know what I mean. We are going to make us meet it. And give me a maneuver node, please. We may have to reduce our trajectory. There we go. Joule encounter. And now we're going to try and tweak that by focusing the camera on Joule. This is a good trick, by the way. And if we see now here our encounter, that's not really that neat. So we are going to tweak that and see, it's passing underneath Joule, and I'm not doing a great job at this. It's passing underneath Joule. That means we need a plane change, sort of. This is getting it closer. Now we may need... Ooh, look at that. This is close, but it's in the wrong plane, so we need a plane change again. Now we need to get that a little bit higher. Not like this. Now we lost it. This is getting closer again. No, now we're completely the wrong direction. We don't want that. We want to arrive in plane with Joule, because otherwise we need a massive course change to be in the same plane as the moons, obviously. Maybe we don't want to do this from here, but from a ascending node. Yes, I'm being stupid. Stop it. Stop the maneuver node. We want to do this from here, because otherwise we cannot actually get in the same plane. So, there we have our encounter again. And now we want to change planes. Look, this is much more like it. No, actually it wasn't. Come on, this is in the same plane at least. But now we need to scoot that back a bit. Go on, go on, go on. We're gonna do this by the book this time. Come on, here it comes. And now it won't go any further? No, it will. This system is still not perfect, because once it gets really close, it starts disappearing and stuff. So this is less. This is less again. And this, now it's gone. I don't believe that. It's still here. It's just hiding from me. And now comes the question, what direction are these moons orbiting? So let's forward time a bit and see if we can see. And they are orbiting counterclockwise. And if we come in like this, yeah, that's a good question actually. This is our exit point. Then we will be orbiting clockwise. So we need to do that the other way around. And I need to be much, much gentler with these maneuver nodes. That's for one. I need to scroll the other way. I'm doing this completely wrong. Alright. Beg your pardon. Let's scroll this back. If you look at the delta V gauge, you can see that we went at 1100 meters per second and we weren't at such a high burn, so we need to dial this back. I think I completely lost it. No, here we go. At least we know now that the moons orbit counterclockwise. Oh, did I ruin it again? Go on, man. We like almost had it. Alright, let's do it again. We know the moons orbit counterclockwise. Damn it, this thing is so friggin' sensitive. It's driving me nuts. Okay. Again, I don't believe that the encounter is actually gone. We need to be going counterclockwise. This will have us orbiting clockwise. But this will have us orbiting counterclockwise. Hooray! Now for the plane. This is good. And now for the altitude. Which moon do we want to go for? I think Val. Val is interesting. This is too tight. So we can aim for an altitude of Val. Can we even aim for an encounter with Val? Yes! Oh, that's beyond awesome. If we can make this happen, this will be officially the best interplanetary encounter I have ever done. So, we need to do this in 188 days. Let's scoot over there. This will also be a really long video, by the way. I keep trying to cut out the boring bits, but I don't find these things boring. It's amazing how you can like tweak and choose and where you go. Look at the moon. I mean, look at the sun grow tiny. We are flying away from it. And we need just 226 meters per second to do this amazing maneuver. So nice. Right, 80 more days to go. 200 meters per second is a... We're going to try and do this exactly on the ball. It's a 1.4 minute burn. We can just do that. That means we want like 40 seconds before the node we want to start burning. And we don't want to overshoot it by a million days, obviously. Okay, it's now 4 days to burn time. Let's see if we can orient ourselves to the desired vector. One thing the new version of KSP has like little arrows that show you where the maneuver node is, and those are really useful. Right. 4 days before the maneuver, we are orienting the ship. This is the most prudent I have ever been in this game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright then, here we are now. Don't burn yet, don't burn yet. Now, burning now would ruin everything. Everything we've worked so hard for. Alright then. Alright then. Lock it in and time warp for 4 days. These are Kerbal days, so let's try not to overshoot. Going to be judicious with quick saves here because this is a long mission, and whilst pilot error will not be loaded from, game glitches or stupidity might be loaded from. Unless it's hilarious. Those are the rules. Cool. Okay, 30 minutes to go. Cranking down. Okay, let's just wait 15 minutes. No. We're gonna time warp to the bone here. 10 minutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Dialing it back. 10 times, no, 100 times. Alright, we want to burn it at 40 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh no, I need to go in EVA. No chance. Go. Boom. Here we go. And even in this burn, I'm going to time warp because I've spent too many hours looking at burning fake rockets. That's a startling realization, actually. Okay, we're not gonna look at the map. We're gonna do the burn and then look at the map, just like the real rocket scientists do it, somewhat. Alright then. Some meters per second to go. This looks good. Residuals at 1. No, we don't have residuals. Don't model them. 17 meters per second to go. Throttling back for maximum efficiency. Maximum accuracy. Efficiency actually doesn't matter. Gonna vary the throttle a bit to just be a dick to the trackers. And they gave up. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. We are not on a collision encounter, actually. Something went hideously wrong. If we burn for more, we're actually getting closer. Something went hideously wrong. I don't know what. I don't know what. We made such a nice encounter. Time warp glitches? Maybe. I don't know what happened. So we'll just have to do this again. Fortunately, now the changes will be slight, I think. Here we go. This will give us an encounter. And now we just have to go look at that encounter. Alright, finding Jewel again. This will be a two-parter. Once we arrive at Jewel, or once we land, the next bit will happen. Otherwise, it's going to be too long. I can tell already. Okay, so we want to be going counterclockwise. Never forget, counterclockwise. Oh man, that encounter was so perfect. I wanted... And here we are, almost there. Or at least... It's like... Still a year and 160 days. I think. Anyway, but look at how majestic and nice this is. The inner solar system spinning away, high energy, lots of stuff happening, circling, whoosh, 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 whoosh. Everything going around, satellites bouncing up and down. Even if we even dare look at Kerbin, I mean, come on, let's try and look at Kerbin and we'll get dizzy. Oh, wait, this is the moon. Look at everything here going boom, 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 so fast, so much rushing. And here out in the outer solar system, everything is nice and slow. Even looking in towards the center, everything is still fast, but everything just looks the same. And out here, everything is a little bit colder and nicer and slower. And if we look at Jewel, oh come on, let me go back to Jewel. And if we look at Jewel, zoom in a bit here, everything is like sort of jiggling up and down a little bit fast, but everything here is proper. And if we focus at the maneuver node, we get like a very reassuring jiggle. We're going to catch Speedster Vol there. Let's focus back on our ship. Bob and Jebediah here, they're appreciating the slowness of life up here. Look, a year has passed already. Wouldn't have said so. But then again, one more year to go. 150 days. I think you must go mad if you're in a spaceship for 7 years. 6 would be fine, but 7 would just be too much. Alright then. Look sharp. Time to not screw up the encounter. We don't have alarm clock to mess with the time warp. We need to manage this singularity drive. Bob and Jebediah have been in their capsules for 3 years. Now 400 days. Oh, these are these Kerbin years. For a long time. And in a small amount of days, they are going to have to do something. And they may be dead. Who knows? We didn't radio to them. We were too busy watching Alcoholic Teen Mothers 5. And if you know what that's a reference to, then yay. Good for you. You like the right parts of the internet. Slowing down the time warp. Oh yes, here we are, coming in for a landing. No, not a landing, well not immediately. Periapsis will still take 50 days, even though we are now captured by Jewel. Let's have a look out the window. Or well, through the window or something. Can we see Jewel already? I think we ought to. The sun is very small though. Not a lot of solar energy at this altitude. Fortunately, we've brought nuclear. And I'm too hurried to look for Jewel measuredly. Alright, we're going to try and make our Vol encounter happen from the periapsis around Jewel, remember? So we're gonna have to actually do that. Alright, can we see it now? Because I want to see this green giant that we are inexorably falling towards. There it is! Look at that. Let's see it grow bigger in our rear view mirror because we're pointing ass forward today. Here we go, we can see the moons. Hooray! This looks nice. An alien world, a tiny miniature solar system of its own. Except the sun is green and doesn't radiate. Well, it doesn't radiate in the visible spectrum. It does radiate in the visible spectrum, just not as much as the sun. I was gonna say, if it wasn't, it would be invisible. Right, okay then. Enough mucking about. Here we have our periapsis, which is incidentally almost at Vol's orbit. So even if we don't get a neat encounter, we just have to like reduce this all the way and we'll get an encounter that way. Will we? I think so. As long as we get into orbit around Jewel, everything should be fine. What's our node look like? It's not great. We've got a 3-degree offset. Let's target. Oh, this is Lathe. No, we want to be at Vol. Oh shit, we're coming in way too close. Let's see if we can fix that. It will cost us. No, let's not do it that way, because if we break closer to Jewel, our marvelous encounter is off the... It's not gonna happen anymore, unfortunately, but if we break closer to Jewel, then everything should be more efficient and nice. What's that? So we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. We will reduce our apoapsis around Jewel to Vol's altitude, on this side anyway, and then establish an encounter from there. I don't think Vol's orbit is too elliptical. I hope it's not anyway. So that's 1400 meters per second again. That's a long burn, but we will be able to do so. We will be able to perform it, and we will reach periapsis around Jewel in about 2 days, at which point we will also do some science, because why not? Oh, look at that, it rotates, there is weather patterns, everything. Node in 4 hours. Ooh, I would have almost like skipped right over that. Oh, look at that, that's Lathe with its atmosphere. I wonder why the ship's designer, Coryzilla, said it would be stupid to land on an atmospheric planet. Surely that's easier. Oh, because there's so much ocean. Then we would have to aim. We don't want to have to aim. Look at that. Green marble. Where is the sun? Is it even here somewhere? No. Alright, let's start our maneuver to stay around this. Ooh, we are using RCS. We can use RCS. We brought loads of it. Alright. Where are we going if we do nothing? If we do nothing, we will just get marooned. We'll end up around Dres. Well, not around Dres, but at the altitude of Dres, more or less. Oh well, it's good to know. We don't want to be there though, so let's fire up our engines and start our braking maneuver. And pretty as Jewel may be, this will be skipped because, oh my god, another burn. See you after 1400 meters per second. And here we are, almost there. I didn't look at the map, but yeah, we should be, yeah, there we are. Everything went swimmingly, which it should, because it's a fairly standard deceleration braking burn. Our fuel tanks are drying up, so we should get, well, we are getting a little bit better acceleration than we did upon Kerbin departure. But let's have a look if we can. Oh, we over-braked a little bit. Oh wait, what did that do? Did that immediately give us an encounter? Yeah, with Lathe. We don't want that. We want to go to Vol. Come on. Here we go, Vol encounter. Wonderful. Make that like a better encounter. Jewel Periapsis? No, I want a Vol Periapsis. Vol encounter. I think this Periapsis is going to be really low anyway, because we are almost in the same orbit already. Oh wow! 100 kilometers, that's great! Alright, one more burn. Well, two more burns, because we need to slow down around Vol as well, obviously. But we are now Julians. We live in this sphere of influence, with these moons, with this gas giant. So, alright, warping for 8 more hours, because the day is 4 hours, or 5. 5 and something. 6 hours. Oh, no, 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 no! I overshot. Damn it. Maybe we can still make it. I hope we can still make it. Maximum time warp, obviously. We may need to look at the... Oh dear, something's happening. We may need to look at the... What the hell is happening? Oh, that was the lathe encounter that was doing weird stuff. We don't want the lathe encounter. We want the Vol encounter. I hope we can still make it. Alright, let's delete the maneuver node and just see if we can make it happen on our own. Without time warp from now on. Oh, what? Yeah, we're now on a crash course, I think. Which somehow is also fine, but it's not ideal. Here we go, 50 kilometers, that's wonderful. Alright then, let's see if we can fire up some sciencers. I mean, of course we can. Crew report. Transmit the science home. I mean, this mission you may have noticed, we haven't been really good with the science. Also, solar panels, didn't extend those. It's been a while, I'm a little rusty with this game. So let's beautify the ship. Alright, transmit the science. And I just want to visit Vol. I don't want to be all mucking about with science. I did that so much in previous incarnations of the game. So, we are going to visit Vol, take a picture and go home. And we will take a soil sample. And the materials base obviously for use on the ground. Is it though? Ah, could be. I don't want to bother with that now, so we are not going to do so. Right. Full on time acceleration one more time. Here we go. Hello Vol. Can we see it now? We're really close now as well. Can we see it? I think that's lathe. If that's lathe, then there's Vol. Cool. We are already almost sharing its orbit. Look at that. There's lathe. There's Vol. We're like, it's like billiards. How cool. And we're getting really close automatically now. What? Is it going to put us in a stable orbit? No, not quite. Alright, here we are. Same distance approximately, but... Alright, we will need a slight burn to close that orbit. Let's make it a circular one. Well, at least somewhat circular. Cool, another 200 and something meters per second seems to be the magic word this mission. And this episode is now drawing to a close because we have one more time warp and then one more burn, and then it's off for the landing for the next episode. So, here's the time warp. We need an hour and a bit. And in that time, will we actually like crash on it? No. Here we go. Look at Vol. I think I only landed once before on Vol, and that was in a mission a day. That's a long time ago. I think that's over a year ago by now. Holy shit. Well, here we are. Hello, Vol. Some alien world you are. Is it ice? Is it rock? What the hell is it? Lathe over there. Hello. Alright, here we go. Closer than 100 kilometers. Let's ask for a crew report. Maybe they have something to say about this whole situation. Impressive and jagged mountain ranges. We are going to try and land on them. I am sorry. We're gonna fire our engine soon as well. Once more onto the breach for nuclear power, eh? Here we go. Let's not waste all our RCS fuel, even though we've got a boatload of it. Alright, we're getting some valuable data here. We're now traveling at 900 meters per second of orbital velocity. We're going to scrub another 200, then we'll be at 60 kilometers somewhat in a fairly circular orbit, like 60 by 200. That means that this baby is lighter than the moon. That means that a landing will be relatively easy. That's nice. That means we can land and take off again with our lander, which was the plan already. And then of course we do have to rendezvous with this big drive stage. Pump all the remaining fuel from the lander back into the drive stage and then go home. I think the main bit here is that we have one Kerbal that doesn't get to land, or we have to do a double landing. Now that would be challenging with the fuel we have, I think. We will for sure need a few kilometers per second to get back home to Kerbin. Once there, of course, we can just slam into the atmosphere and fall home. This is our landing module, didn't look at that before. So we need to bring this whole shebang back home. Orbital speed is 800, I think around the moon, maybe... Wait, what's the orbital speed around the moon? Is that only 200? No. Damn it, I'm rusty. I know in the real solar system the orbital velocity around the moon is about 2 kilometers per second. I think it's about this. Is this larger than the moon then? Do we have a gravioli detector? That would solve everything. No, we don't. Oh well, we are in orbit around Vol. That's an achievement. Well done, Coryzilla. Nice ship. So far it's performed tremendously. Who is in here? Not enough crew. No one's in here. Oh, we need to get a guy in there. Anyway, that will all happen in the sequel to this, well, the part 2 to this episode, where we will hopefully land on Vol, take off, redock with the ship, and go home. So, thanks for watching so far, and I hope you're enjoying this blast from the past last episode of KSP Contracting. And, well, you're on YouTube, so you can probably click right on to the next episode if you so desire. So, enjoy, see you then, bye.